Page 6 of the Daily Nation also sets a tone for our conversation. This is regarding what is the developing story right now of Echesa and the corn game. And we just want to begin with Herman Manyora on this and Richard Onyonka. Let's just begin with you, Richard Onyonka, yes. On page 6 of the Daily Nation right now. So the MPs are calling for his resignation because, so to speak, the office of the Deputy President now is a crime scene.
I think it's, to me, it's a false call. The reason is that these investigations are not complete.
Yes.
So what criteria are you going to use to ask the Deputy President to resign? I think what we should be asking is, can the DCI and DPP and all these institutions which have been given the responsibility of investigating such matters investigate expeditiously and come to a reasonable conclusion as to what exactly happened? Mm-hmm. The only unfortunate thing is that this matter borders on national security, yes, for the simple reason that if you look, for example, on the items and the equipment which was being purchased, I'm a worried man. Mm-hmm. Number one, why would somebody want, if it is true, if it is just the normal fraud that Kenyans engage in, then it has, of course, a different dimension. But why would somebody want to buy GSM disabling equipment, which is supposed to destabilize, to disable all mobile telephony in a certain area? Why is a private individual participating in an exercise which we know all equipment military is always purchased by the military? Who facilitated him to make these visits to Poland? Many names have come up, all right? You have the name of the daughter of the Deputy President, his son. Is it true that they were actually involved? The two individuals who are claiming that Echesa had conned them off 11 million, who are they? There's so much that is left unanswered that I think it would be unfair for somebody right now to start talking about the Deputy President resigning and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So my feeling is, let us allow the investigative arms to do their job. Let us make sure that they are thorough, and if possible, let them inform the public as the situation is being handled without jeopardizing or prejudicing the innocent until proven guilty principle in the prosecution of such matters. Mm-hmm. So my honest feeling is that this is a weighty issue. Who was going to give the money, the 40 billion? Is this a true deal, or this is basically, as I said, the normal fraud activities that take place in Kenya, where this time it is a matter of gold, tomorrow is a matter of arms, another day is going to be a matter of computers. Remember, all these things have been going on over and over, and I think something finally has to be done about it, and conclusively.
Thank you. All right, the front page of the Standard as well. Call in 23 minutes, and the Deputy President is wondering, why always me? Under fire, Deputy President William Ruto admits fraudsters attempting to con foreign arms dealers met in his office for 23 minutes, but challenges detectives to investigate other government offices, including Department of Defense, to get to the heart of the scandal. Let's hear from Herman Manyora.
You know, Deba, I hope Ruto's opponents have not run out of steam and they can go this low if this is politics. Because really, many things don't make sense, like Richard has said. A lot of things here don't make sense. The country will really have gone to the dogs. If we can talk about military equipment as if we are talking about the purchase of Mandazi, honestly, the country will have gone bad. But again, I remember 2003 or thereabouts. I saw Uhuru dressed in a long coat, looking very smart. I think London was very cold then. Mm-hmm. They were following on Anglo-leasing. Nothing has come out of it this many years later. We have gone like that. Recently, we had the gold scandal. I want to call out the DCI. What does he imagine Kenyans are? He thinks we are fools? Let them not take us as if we are idiots. If they have something on somebody, please can they get the truth and prosecute a case in a manner ordinary Kenyans like me and Onyonka here and Sholei can see there's something they are doing. If this thing were true, I suspect it's not true. But if it were true, it's something you can get to the root in just a matter of hours. You look at the DP's telephone, HSR's, CCTV, in one day you have it wrapped up, round up somebody, and if it is linked to the DP, he will obviously resign. He won't even be told. Because the truth is, how do we run our offices here? Any of these government installations. I also go there. Anybody can go there. Anybody can go to the DP's office and go to the boardroom. That's nothing. You can't use that to link it to the DP and say you want to prosecute him. That would be foolish. You see, in other countries, they are serious. There are certain installations you can't just enter. This is Kenya. How many of us go any of these sensitive places and you don't even see a check there? So it is possible that former minister can, in order to build up a story to con somebody, enter Arambe House Annex, go to the boardroom. It's also possible that a few of Ruto's friends or aides are involved. I don't think it will go to the level of calling for his resignation. But what I'm saying, we want to call out the men and women in charge of these kind of things in this country, DCI and the rest. Please don't take Kenyans for a ride. Some of these things you investigate are so simple that I'm not trained. If you gave me this case here, within 2 days, I'll give you everything wrapped up. I'll tell you this is rubbish, go away. If you are using this for politics, I have seen it. If there is sense in it, if there's substance, I will add it myself, and I'm not trained. Right. And I'll do it with Sholei and Richard, the three of us. Within 2 days, you shall give them. What I'm saying before you stop me, please, let the DCI and those in power in this country not take Kenyans for granted. And while DCI is at these games of playing, they must know how they're offending Kenyans. I've said this on this bench. You go for people, and you know very well it's maybe just politics. There's nothing in the story. Then what are you also doing? You take these people and give them 6x6 beds at EACC. They go to, instead of going to remand, you take them to Muthaiga, where they get a mattress. Some of them are maybe driven at home. Kenyans are watching. So Kenyans are saying, oh, sisi ndio tunenanga industrial area. Hawa wakubwa wanapelekwa Muthaiga kulala. This is dangerous for the country. Let me tell you, because I must tell you and tell the country, and tell the president and DCI, don't push Kenyans into doing bad things in this country. The people who will pay for it are these people who think they are playing games. If somebody is guilty, go for him, do the investigations. By the time you arrest him, you have sufficient evidence to begin a prosecution. Not these games we are being played around with the DCI. I hope this is not one of them. All right. Yeah.
Gladys.
Yes, okay. First, I would like, good morning, Dibala, and I'd like to commend Honorable Onyonka and also Sam Manyore, because they've been very objective on this issue. And that is really what we are calling the country to do. I think if you look at this headline by the Standard, the only person we should be asking to resign is the editor of the Standard newspaper. Because when you say conned in 23 minutes, 39 fake arms come. Once it reveals that the editors of the Standard Group are so ignorant or think that Kenyans are so foolish that they can put a headline like this and expect to get away with it. First of all, we know if they did a little research, they would find out how money is spent in government. First of all, you've got to put it in a budgetary proposal. It is in the budgetary estimates. The exact items are there. The amounts are there to the extent with which the law permits the National Security Committee to be able to put it there. So it is not just that easy to take money from government or to sign a contract. The contract needed to have been in the budgetary estimates that came before Parliament during the budgetary hearings. And in fact, to the extent that there is an exact amount put for it and a procurement process undertaken. And after the procurement process is undertaken, then an invoice is given to the relevant authorities. And from that, the money is then wired out of CBK. So it is not that easy. You cannot con Kenya in 23 minutes, no matter how high our corruption is. So this is a misleading article. And again, I repeat, the editors who wrote this story should resign. And number two, as a country, have we become a lynch mob country? A country that has no laws. That a country that you can wake up in the morning and decide to accuse somebody of the most preposterous crimes and get away with it. In another country, with this headline, the Standard Group would have been declared bankrupt because the amount of money they would have paid in defamation would have been so high that they would not be able to cope with it. We have allowed the media in this country not to become, the fourth estate is supposed to help keep government and other leaders in check. Instead, they have to become the people who have taken away every human right and everything set out in our Bill of Rights from the people of Kenya. They have no obligations whatsoever to protect people's rights. They have abused the freedom of expression and media freedom to the point that they can call you anything. They can call you a murderer, they can call you a thief, they can decide Kenya has been conned in 23 minutes, they can put whatever headline they want. It is unacceptable, and it's about time that we come out as Kenyans and call out the media for this kind of writing shoddy stories that are completely unsubstantiated. When we ask, it is one another thing, it's also an unjust. As Honorable Anyonka says, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Don't mention me because the damage will be done by the time you're trying to sort this out. And I think there has been a group of people who have set out that they must bring the deputy president down. And so each time, their job to wake up every morning is to do anything to bring me down, to bring him down. And the question I should be saying, and I refer to what President Obama said. Yes. He said, he asked somebody, why are you acting that way? If you're so confident in your strength, then show me how strong you are by pulling someone else up. Don't show me how strong you are by putting someone down. And that's exactly where this particular group of people have become. So, and lastly, I would like to say this. If there is a procurement that is going on, then therefore, I want the media to publish for us the budgetary estimates on that item. I want them to write for us the list of procurement officers in the Ministry of Interior and in the Department of Defense that deal with procurement. I want them to tell us the line item where this 39 billion is. I want them to tell us who are the responsible officers, because I can do that. It takes minutes to find that out. It tells you clearly, it goes to the IFMI system. So-and-so is the one who signs for procurement. So-and-so is the one who signs for the clearance. So-and-so is the one who gives the identifying number under IFMIS. So this is an impossibility to happen in our country. You can't tell me that people can walk into the Deputy President's office and sign a 39 billion visual scam. It means this country has collapsed, and in fact the government, both the President and the Deputy President, should resign if this has happened. Right, and I know it has not happened. These are made up stories by the media.